Hello, this is Rainbow. In the program today, we find out about colors and shapes. We'll read your favorite stories and look at colors around us. Let's begin with a story called The Rainbow Balloon by Fredan Shapur.
There was once a balloon that was not just one color, but all different colors of the rainbow. The balloon often wished he could see a real rainbow, so one day he filled himself full of air and went in search of one. As he flew away, the balloon met some kites playing in the wind. "I'm going to look for a rainbow," he said. Then a gust of wind blew him on his journey. Soon the balloon was drifting over the river. He could see his reflection floating between the boats and bridges. Later, a billowing bubble of colors sailed across the sky. For a moment, he thought it was a rainbow. But it was only a hot air balloon taking children for a ride. Days went by as the rainbow balloon journeyed on. Some strange birds passed him, flying in the opposite direction. And so he continued over great distances and to many far-off places. He flew across a wide, golden desert, hoping a rainbow would appear in the hot sand. Weeks went by. One day, as the balloon was soaring above the mountains, he met an eagle roaming the sky. He thought the bird might know where to find a rainbow, but the eagle looked fierce, and the balloon was too frightened to ask. That night, there was a storm. There was a flash of lightning, and it began to rain. By morning, the rain had eased to a gentle shower. The clouds began to clear, and the sun shone through. Then, suddenly, there was the most beautiful rainbow. The balloon was so happy, he flew right into it and disappeared. I wonder where the rainbow balloon is now. If you look far enough, you may see him playing with the moon and the stars. Perhaps one day he will return. Who knows?
Video Dictionary.
Balloon. Rainbow. Eagle. Kite. Have you ever seen a blue kangaroo? The Blue Kangaroo by Colette Hiller.
Blue is a kite blowing in the breeze. Blue is a pair of new dungarees. Blue is a flower, a butterfly too. But blue is never a kangaroo. A blue kangaroo isn't something you see, except, perhaps, occasionally, underneath a nearby tree. A blue kangaroo? Good gracious me! Yellow is a lemon lolly melting in your hand. Yellow is a lion walking proud and grand. Yellow is a sunny day that makes you want to smile. But yellow is never a crocodile. A yellow crocodile isn't something you see, except, perhaps, occasionally, underneath a nearby tree. A yellow crocodile? Good gracious me! Red is a rose, and red is stop. Red is a symbol. Red is hot. Red is a bicycle. Beep, beep, beep. But red is never, no, never, a sheep. A red sheep isn't something you see, except, perhaps, occasionally, underneath a nearby tree. A red sheep? Good gracious me! Green is a traffic light. Green is go. Green is the grass and the trees that grow. Green is a wonderful floppy new hat. But green is never, no, never a cat. A green cat isn't something you see, except, perhaps, occasionally, underneath a nearby tree. A green cat? Good gracious me! White is a feather, a cloud in the sky. White is a sheet hanging out to dry. White is a notebook. White is a bath. But white is never a tall giraffe. A white giraffe isn't something you see, except, perhaps, occasionally, underneath a nearby tree. A white giraffe? Good gracious me! Purple is worn by queens and kings for magical cloaks and sparkling rings. Purple is bread with blackcurrant jam, but purple is never, no, never a ram. A purple ram isn't something you see, except, perhaps, occasionally, underneath a nearby tree. A purple ram? Good gracious me! Red and white and yellow and blue, orange and green and purple too. Do you notice colours? Because if you do, watch out! You may bump into a blue kangaroo.
Now it's time to meet Mr. Drip and find out about the colour red.
Hello, I'm Drip. I make marks with paint. I drip, and I dribble, I splash, and I scribble. I can be thick or thin, and any colour under the sun.
Red is a beautiful sunset. Red is me when I'm hot.
Red attracts people's attention.
Red is a traffic light. Stop!
Strawberries are red,
And so are red roses.
Red is red hair.
and also red noses.
Red is all around us. How many reds can you spot?
What colours do you see every day? My Colourful Day by Merida Woodford.
When I wake up, the first thing I see is the yellow sun shining through my window. I jump into the pink bath and play with my toy duck. Then I get out and dry myself with a big blue towel. I put on my favourite red dress and run downstairs. For breakfast, I have some brown bread with butter and a big glass of milk. Then I put on my purple coat and boots and go outside. Oh, what fun it is to play in the green fields nearby, and to follow the fluffy white sheep down the lane. When the skies turn grey and it starts to rain, I hurry back. At home, I sit in front of the warm orange fire, listening to my favourite stories. When it's time for bed, I look at the black world outside. Then I get into bed and close my eyes on another colourful day.
Mr. Drip shows us some color blue.
Blue!
Blue!
Blue.
What do you think of when you think of blue?
Blue is the colour of summer sky.
Blue is the wings of a butterfly.
Blue is icy. Blue is cool.
Blue is the water in a swimming pool.
Blue is forget-me-nots. Blue is blue eyes.
Blue's a balloon floating high in the skies.
Blue is the waves rolling wild and free.
Blue is a fish in the deep, dark sea.
Blue is all around us. How many blues can you see?
Now, let's look at the colors under the sea.
Blue sea. Look at these shiny fish. These fish have a stripy pattern like a zebra. This is a shark swimming. These sea plants are green. They have lots of different shapes. These fish have brown and white stripes. This fish has black and white stripes and a yellow nose and tail. Here is an orange fish that has 3 white stripes. These fish are black with white and blue spots. A blue fish. It has a pattern on its body. This pink coral makes a lovely pattern. Can you find a fish in your pattern parade book?
What does the color yellow look like, Mr. Drip?
It's yellow.
Yellow! Yellow!
Yellow.
Yellow!
What do you think of when you think of yellow?
Yellow is buttercups.
Yellow is mustard.
Yellow is sunflowers.
Yellow is custard.
Yellow is happiness.
Yellow is warm.
Yellow is hair.
And yellow's the sun.
Yellows are all around us.
Primary colors, yellow, red, and blue. Mix them very carefully and see what you can do. You can make a rainbow if you start with only 3. Take the special colors and mix it up with me. Pick and mix. Let's pick and mix. To make purple, take the red and the blue. Mix them together, the color purple shines through. To make green, mix the yellow and blue. And then like magic, the color green is in view. To make orange you need yellow and red, yellow and red, that's what I said. Mix them together and don't be surprised as the color orange appears before your eyes. Pick and mix. Just pick and mix. Blue and red mix. Pick and mix. Yellow and blue mix. Pick and mix. Yellow and red mix. Pick and mix. Blue and red and yellow makes.
Let's look at some colorful birds.
These are pink flamingos. They have very long necks and large black beaks. Here's a blue peacock. Beside.
Video dictionary.
Pink flamingos. Orange. Red berry. Now it's time for shapes, and we begin with the circle.
Circles, circles go round and round. 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 Circles, circles go round and round.
Do you like painting? My Liang and the Magic Brush by Hilary Hester.
Once upon a time, in China, there was a boy called Liang. He liked drawing and painting, but he was too poor to buy a brush. So he made pictures with stones. With sticks. And with his fingers. One night he said,
I need a brush. If I had a brush, I could paint some pictures for the people in my village.
Suddenly, an old man appeared. He had a long white beard. The old man said,
"Don't be frightened. Here's a brush for you. Now you can paint pictures for the people in your village."
When the old man had gone, Ma Liang began to paint with his new brush. He painted a cockerel, and it changed into a real cockerel.
Wow!
He said,
This is a magic brush.
the next day, he went all over the village. He painted pictures for the people in his village. Pictures of things that people needed. He watched a woman cutting wood.
You need an axe.
He said,
If you had an axe, you could cut wood quickly.
So he painted an axe. And it changed into a real axe. Next, he watched a man pulling a plough.
You need a buffalo.
He said,
If you had a buffalo, you could plough your land quickly.
So he painted a buffalo. And it changed into a real buffalo. He went all over the village and he painted what people needed. Soon, the king heard about Ma Liang and his magic brush. He sent his soldiers to fetch Ma Liang. The king said,
"Paint me a tree covered with gold coins."
Ma Liang said,
No, I won't. You don't need any gold coins.
The king was very angry.
"You wicked boy, I'll put you in prison."
So his soldiers put Ma Liang in prison and locked the door. Ma Liang said,
I need a key. If I had a key, I could open the door.
So he painted a key. And it changed into a real key. He opened the door with it. So he painted a horse. And it changed into a real horse. He jumped on the horse and galloped. And they disappeared into the hole. Ma Liang was safe. He rode home and told his story to all the people in his village.
Video dictionary.
Paintbrush. Cockerel. What is black? What is white?
Black and white. Black
And white.
What do you think of when you think of black and white?
Black is coffee.
White is milk.
Black is velvet.
White is silk.
Black is dark.
White is light.
White is snow.
Black is night.
Do you know any animals that are black and white?
Zebras are wild horses. Their stripy coats make them look like mint humbugs. Although all zebras' stripes look the same, every zebra has a different pattern. When a baby zebra is born, it needs to stay near to its mother so that she can look after it. A baby learns the pattern of its mother's skin, so if it gets lost, it can find her again. They live on the African plains with lots of other animals.
How many sides has a triangle?
3 sides, I'm a triangle. 3 sides, I'm a triangle. Not a circle or a square or a rectangle. I'm a triangle. 3 sides, I'm a triangle. 3 sides, I'm a triangle. Not a circle or a square or a rectangle. I'm a triangle.
Sir Triangle was eating lunch when he heard a sound outside his tent. A dragon. Breathing fire. Very dangerous.
Excuse me, Mr. Dragon. I must ask you to stop.
Stop, said the dragon. Not till you drop. The next morning, Sir Triangle awoke to find the dragon still waiting outside. But before the dragon could breathe out a flame, it began to rain. Bother, he said, and went home again.
Flowers have lots of different colors. Let's look at them.
This yellow flower is shaped like a star. These flowers are black and white. What color are these flowers? They are yellow. Can you find a yellow flower in your book called Pattern Parade?
Now, let's look at shapes again. This is a square.
1, 2, 3, 4 corners on a square. 4 sides, all the same square. So there.
2, 3, 4.
No.
Mr. Square has square white eyes, a square nose. He has a square body and wears square yellow clothes. Mr. Square plays on his own. I know, he thinks. I'll make myself a square dog for company. Mr. Square's dog has square eyes, pink square feet, a pink square tail, and very big teeth. "Help!" says Mr. Square. "What shall I do? My little square dog wants to bite me in two. I'll climb on top of this big square where you can't reach me. So there." Then Mr. Square thinks of something else. "I'll pretend I'm a big dog and frighten the little square dog myself."
Before we say goodbye, meet Matthew the Mouse, who likes to paint pictures. Matthew's Dream by Liang.
A couple of mice lived in a dusty attic with their only child. His name was Matthew. In one corner of the attic, draped with cobwebs, were piles of newspapers, books and magazines, an old broken lamp and the sad remains of a doll. That was Matthew's corner. The mice were very poor, but they had high hopes for Matthew. He would grow up to be a doctor, perhaps. Then they would have Parmesan cheese for breakfast, lunch and dinner. But when they asked Matthew what he wanted to be, he said, "I don't know. I want to see the world." One day, Matthew and his classmates were taken to the museum. It was the first time. They were amazed at what they saw. There was a huge portrait of King Mouse IV, dressed like a general. And next to it was a picture of cheese that made Matthew drool. There were wind mice that floated through the air, and mice with horns and bushy tails, and mountains and rushing streams, and branches bowing in the winds. The world is all here, thought Matthew. Entranced, Matthew wandered from room to room, gazing at the paintings. There were some that he didn't understand at first. One looked like crusts of pastry, but when he looked more carefully, a mouse emerged. Then, turning a corner, Matthew found himself face to face with another little mouse. She smiled at him. "I am Nicoletta," she said. "Aren't these paintings wonderful?" That night, Matthew had a strange dream. He dreamed that he and Nicoletta were walking hand in hand in an immense, fantastic painting. As they walked, playful patches of colour shifted under their feet, and all around them suns and moons moved gently to the sounds of distant music. Matthew had never been so happy. He embraced Nicoletta. "Let's stay here forever," he whispered. Matthew woke with a start. He was alone. Nicoletta had faded with his dream. The grey dreariness of his attic corner appeared to him in all its bleak misery. Tears came to his eyes. But then, as if by magic, what Matthew saw began to change. The shapes hugged each other, and the pale colours of the messy junk heap brightened. Even the crumbled newspapers now looked soft and smooth. And from afar, Matthew thought he heard the notes of a familiar music. He ran to his parents' corner. "I know," he said. "Now I know. I want to be a painter." Matthew became a painter and painted large canvases filled with the shapes and colours of joy. Then he married Nicoletta. In time, he became famous, and mice from all over the world came to see him to buy his paintings. His largest painting now hangs in the museum. When asked about the title, Matthew smiled. The title! As if he had never thought about it before. My Dream.
Video Dictionary Summary.
Balloon. Rainbow. Eagle. Kite. Pink flamingos. Orange. Red berry. Paintbrush. Cockerel. Horse. Black. White. Square. Circle. Triangle.